Hello, ladies and germs. I am actually very excited. I just left my appointment with plastics. It was like my year follow-up. It was a whopping exactly 15-minute appointment. But I'm excited and I'm happy. And I've been really anxious for the past couple of days because of the runway show that's now tomorrow. My tomorrow, not your tomorrow, because I won't be posting this for a couple of days. But I scheduled my follow-up FOOB surgery for January, and I'm smiling and I'm happy. It's weird. You have to have a good relationship with your plastic surgeon. I can't stress that enough. And I feel very warm, cozy trust with my plastic surgeon. Your breast surgeon, mine moved to Texas. But hopefully you don't need a breast surgeon more than just the one time, for a double mastectomy at least. So while I love her and, miss her, plastics are who you're going to need, forever. Even if there's anything wrong, just for follow-ups and stuff. So this is my 1 year follow-up from, I know it's late. It's August, September, it's October. So it's 2 months after, when I had... a year and 2 months after when I had surgery. And I went in with my list of questions, and even when you walk in that room, if you haven't gone to plastics yet, by the way, when you're going through this surgery, my first plastics vlog is probably not the one that you should watch because it did not go well at all, and I clearly did not choose her as my plastic surgeon. There are plenty of doctors out there. I'm blessed to be in the Boston area because there's a ton of doctors around here. But don't watch my first plastic surgery vlog because it did not go well at all. And all the things that I said in there, that is not how my surgery went at all. So watch the second plastics vlog, whatever day that was. But I ended up going with a different person than who was originally recommended to me. He's phenomenal. I trusted him pretty quickly after meeting him. Literally 10 minutes of just him, the way he was just talking to me, and it was just a feeling of warmth and a feeling of it'll be okay. And he has amazing credentials. I did look him up and stuff. It is about that, but it's also about how you feel about that person. You really have to trust them. They have your body in their hands, and this is what you're living with. The breast surgery, it's they do it, it's out, and then it's done. But with plastics, this is the body that you're left over with. So you really have to be on the same page about, what's working, what's not working, what can be fixed, what can be fixed. And I leave there, and after, I'm 15 minutes, I'm seriously? I woke up this early in the morning for 15 minutes. But I just felt calm and relaxed. When you first go into plastics, there's either a wall painted blue or there's a pull down, curtain-y kind of thing that's blue. You'll probably never look at that color blue the same way. Ironically, actually, it's the color that's on my shirt, which wasn't even intentional. Interesting. I wore this shirt, which is kind of dumb because I wore this shirt because it's a V-neck and he could see how one side falls versus the other side. But it's kind of dumb because when you get there, you put a Johnny on anyway and you're topless. So it's not like he sees you with a shirt on unless you were to ask him. But you go in, there's no way in, which is nice. And there's a pretty small mirror, but it was almost like picking out dinner or dessert, I guess in this case, where I looked in the mirror and I just wanted to look at all the little pieces that bother me and why. And when he came in, I wasn't sitting in either one of the chairs, and he's like, "Where is she?" And I'm like, "I'm behind the door by the mirror," and I closed up and stuff. So I liked that he, it's not abrupt with a do this, because the pictures are hard. It's today they weren't, but when you start with plastics and they take pictures as your befores and afters and things, it's tough. It's tough for to stand and be oh, come pose for a picture with your messed up boobs. After the biopsies, they're bruised and they don't look pleasant. And then, you know, when you know you're having them removed, it's just emotional. Now it's like, okay, it's been a year. Let's move on. And the very first thing he said when he came in, other than like, where is she? He's like, he made a comment about my hair. He's like, your hair looks great. And I got my roots done yesterday, and I have to get rid of some of the dye stuff. She did my roots yesterday because runway is tomorrow, and, you know, styled it. So it's, you know, really well styled. And, it was just nice that he said that, because it's not all about the boobs. It's not all about what's wrong. I've not been feeling super empowered the past few days because I'm nervous about walking in runway. It really hit me last night. I'm nervous for like 100 reasons about walking on runway. I want to do it, and I don't doubt that it will be okay. And I'm nervous about walking. I'm nervous about standing, you know, walking in front of literally 900 people. They have 900 tickets sold, and there's 104 models. It's a lot of people. It's like you're coming out in front of all these people. And I just pray I don't trip. And he asked me what I was wearing, which was nice. He's heard of Runway for Recovery before, which was cool. So I said to him, like, hey, you want to come? They're not sold. I'm not sure if they're sold out. I don't think they're sold out. I don't know. Anyway, because I think it's kind of cool for like doctors to come to these kinds of things, and they're not just like, you know, in the office doing their stuff all the time. They can see like what happens after they do what they do. Especially when it's in a positive, like fundraising kind of light. So, yeah, so my surgery will be in January. My kids will both be home from college then. They'll be working, but I asked if they could like alternate their work schedules, because obviously it's not as invasive. Sorry, my arm hurts. It's not as invasive a procedure as the original one that I had, you know, the double mastectomy, because they're just like tweaking a few things. On my right side, I don't know how I love my high quality, like, ooh, my high quality videography. This is why I should move to podcasts, which I probably will do soon. So on my right side, I said that's where I have the most pain still. And my understanding is it's because of the lymph nodes. And I asked him too, because I can't reach really out to my breast surgeon, because she moved to Texas. And I said, you know, because he was in the room with her, and I said, I don't understand why she took out 6 lymph nodes when they were all benign. Like, originally she said she was going to take out the sentinel node, and if something was up, she'd check the next, like, 2. And she took out 6, but they were all benign. So I'm like, I don't understand why she took out 6. And is that what's causing all, like, the issue? And between him and the nurse, my understanding is that, like, yeah, you have less lymph nodes. It takes more work for your body to drain, like, fluids out. So, like, you know, I don't feel fat. I feel swollen. I don't know. Like, I've looked at these pictures that are posted of me, and I'm like, oh my God, can you take them like high up? Although I'm in a car. You take them high up, and then you can't see, like, look, I actually have a line. But when they take pictures of me head on, it's like, hello to my little friend here, you know? Ugh. Anyway. So he said on the right side, my right boob, because he asked me which one I like better, which is interesting. It's a cool question. I'm like, I like my right one better, but on the right side, it doesn't curve all the way up. Like, I don't mind if it looks like a fake boob. And he said, like, that's not part of the boob. That's he didn't say boob, but it's not part of the boob. He's like, that's just like your body. So that would be, oh, you know what? I never asked him if insurance is going to cover this. I should call. That was a really dumb thing to not think about. I feel like it is covered because of the breast cancer diagnosis, but I need to call her to make sure, because that would be an alarming, like, bill to get. Anyway, I'm just staying in my happy phase. Note to myself to call. Anyway, he said he can do liposuction on the right side to get rid of that little, like, have like a little, it just doesn't curve up all the way. And then on the left side, he made it seem like he's like, there's nothing wrong with the implant. It just kind of needs to be pushed higher, because my right one is higher, and I thought, we thought over time it would just drop, and it hasn't, but my left one is dropped, so he wants to like just lift it up a little bit. And he mentioned something about the pocket that it's in, that's the allogerm thing, but I told him I was weirded out because my left one I can almost like fold. I mean, I showed him, I stood, which was really good for me. Like, I felt empowered that like because he's just talking to me, and when he's looking at stuff, I can't see what he's looking at, and I want to make sure that he understands what's bothering me with my boobs. And it's clear that like my left one goes out a little bit more to the left side, which is what is pulling my clothes, because it's just, this side is more like a little bit flatter, this side's more firm, so my clothes tend to like want to go towards this one because like it's pulling my shirt over. And then when this gets pulled over, then like my necklace gets all weird to the side, and I'm not, it just looks funny, and I don't want to be fixing myself all the time or not wear necklaces and stuff anymore because my clothes shift. So I don't know what he's going to do. And, I didn't want to ask specifics about things because I remember when I went into surgery the first time, like when I not first met with him, but when I met with him before I had my mastectomy, he said, because I audio recorded the appointment, and he originally said he was going to put the implant under the muscle, and then I said whatever I said, and he goes, okay, so we can go over the muscle instead. And whatever decisions he made, the biggest thing was he won't really know what's going on until he gets in there to see what's happening. And then he talked to me about having expanders, and that's like what most people do. Or maybe it was the breast surgeon that mentioned expanders, I can't remember. But the point is, the plan that they had when I was going into surgery was not actually what ended up happening. So like, I don't want people to think that like, here's your neat little plan of what's supposed to happen. But when they're in there, like, they're going to figure out what's going on. And I'm not shooting for perfection. I feel like I was, and I get that even people that haven't had this happen don't have, symmetric boobs. I mean, as a whole, my boobs like shaped way better than they were before I had the mastectomy. Granted, I had 2 humongous scars and no nipples. And he talked about the nipple thing too. He was raving. His nurse does really, really good tattooing work. And at a minimum, he said, we could start with the areola. But I just want to take it like one piece at a time. I'm not ready for the areola yet. I want to have the surgery done in January and just let my body rest. I'm actually having patience, shocking, which is what I'm supposed to be having, which I've been having a hard time doing because I want everything fixed, perfect, and done yesterday. And that's just not realistic. So, yeah, that's where I am. I had to get going. I have to pick up my shirt from the tailor that I'm wearing for the cocktail hour, tomorrow. And, yeah, hopefully we'll get some pictures taken, and I just wanted to share because I don't feel lighter. I'm smiling. There's a smile. I don't know if you can tell. I'm smiling, and the past couple of days have been really hard leading up to the runway thing. I had, the articles come out with my story and stuff, and when I read it again, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, think about all that's happened. And I look at the picture and I'm like, that's not what I look like, but I guess that's what I look like. I don't know. And it'll be good for me to have my 5-inch platform heels on. I will be 6 feet tall with long, sleek black pants on. And I know I will look like classic chic. Yeah, it's going to be a lot, but I feel like it's something that I need to do. Sometimes I say there are things I need to do and I just feel super, super uncomfortable, and I'm like, I shouldn't have even bothered doing that. I went to a Relay for Life event and I did not enjoy being there. Part of it was with COVID, like there weren't as many people there that I thought would be there. And again, there's that feeling of aloneness. It's really creeping up quite a bit. So yeah, so that's where I am. Having the surgery in January, I feel like it's another step towards not completion, but just like finishing up the process and just moving on. One thing I'll mention quick about oncology, I went there 2 days ago. I feel like that would be a whole other vlog. I can't even remember if I vlogged after the appointment. I don't know. But she did say when I asked her time-wise for stuff, like what the plan was, she said that, like after being on the Lupron for 2 years, I probably will switch to an aromatase inhibitor instead. She had asked me, like, why I didn't choose to have my ovaries removed. And that was a discussion that I had with my gynecologist. If you have your ovaries removed, you don't need to be on Lupron because Lupron suppresses your ovaries. That's the whole point. But it was felt that removing my ovaries would just be invasive and not necessary. So I have an organ removed, at least for me, that I don't need to have removed. So I'll be on the Lupron for 2 years. They'll reassess where I am, like, you know, with my menopause, wherever I am. And then probably switch me to an aromatase inhibitor. And then I would be off the tamoxifen and on something else, which, you know, they have side effects too. But, you know, I don't know. They could be different. I don't know. Better, worse, who knows? I feel like as you're going through the process, no matter what, I'm getting older like every second, which in a way is good because it's like menopause will end. And then I'll be postmenopausal, you know, the hormones won't be there as much. My body won't be as reactive about stuff. My body just wants to stay young, but it needs to get going with being done with the womanhood process of, you know, fertility and stuff because of the hormones. All right, so I'm gonna go pick up my shirt and try it on. I brought my pants and the shoes to try on with it. And then I'm going to get my nails done. I tried different shades of colors this morning to see which one I wanted. Getting my toes done, which I like never do. Getting my eyebrows shaped. And then I'm going to be at the Seaport pretty early tomorrow. I made my hair and makeup appointment pretty early just because I wanted to be prettier longer. And I don't really know what the schedule is, which also makes me a little bit anxious, but I don't know. I had to go in with an open mind, and I feel empowered that I have, you know, good doctors by my side. And that, you know, there's doctors out there that are warm and are caring and look at you as a human and make you feel like it's going to be okay. All right. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye.